Ladies and gents and ladies, we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's been a while since you've seen us two on the scene, but we got some catching up to do. John Johnson, Johnson Signature Group, Exit Platinum Realty, and who is this young lady over here?
That's me, Sam Sakitha Cooper, known to most of you as Sam, real estate broker, out here trying to save some lives, make you all happy in the real estate business, representing Weichert and myself as always. And yes, it has been a while. We are overdue. And I know you missed us. So we're back. And we're back today to talk about something truly important, I think, anyway, as a self-employed independent contractor. So I'm going to let Broker John start it off a little bit. And we just want to give you some tips today. We just want to give a little bit of information that I know you may not be thinking about as you're filing your taxes, as you're thinking about home ownership, as you're thinking about what you're going to do for the rest of the year, next year. So that's why we're here today, to say, hey, give you some wisdom, some advice. We are not, let me put this on the record, we are not tax professionals.
No, we're not.
We are not accountants.
We are not.
We are both licensed real estate brokers.
That's what we are.
Who are here to give you some tips that we have circulated, that we have experienced, that we have used ourselves in preparing our own tax profiles. How about that? Does that work?
Indeed, that definitely works. So, just to add to it, I mean, this episode is really for all of you hustlers out there, all of you self-employed entrepreneurs, business owners that said bye-bye to corporate America and you want to do your own thing, right? Well, we got to manage that thing, right? And, we can't write off everything, right? And I think some of you have learned the hard way when you've come to myself or Broker Sam saying, well, I want to buy a house now because my business has made all this money. And then we look at your tax returns and you've written off everything. You tell us you made six figures, but the tax return says you only made $10,000, right? Outside of that, there are other reasons why you should report and file your taxes that we're going to take a deep dive into. And Broker Sam's really going to steer the ship and really open all of our eyes as to why it's important to not only file your taxes and to, not write off everything, but there are some other long-term benefits associated with that. So, Sam, why don't you walk us down that path?
Okay, so I myself have been an independent contractor for almost 30 years. That's just one of the roles that I've had. And I can tell you from experience, I wasn't doing it correctly when it came to filing taxes or keeping receipts even. That's a key here. Keeping the receipts, your meals, your travel, things you purchase. You don't even realize those are things you can write off. And they're legitimate reductions that you can take. However, if you're making six figures, you have to know that in order to have a nice tax accounting profile, in order to secure your long-term finances, it's not just about your day-to-day. This is a yearly task that you need to do on a monthly basis. And I'm going to say that again. This is a yearly task that you need to do, that you need to encourage yourself to take some time out to cultivate your receipts, to calculate, to collect everything so that when tax season rolls around, you're prepared and you're not scrambling, looking through emails. You're not on the internet looking for, oh, can I take this? And truly, in our profession, we see so many others like us. We see barbers, stylists, electricians, painters, general contractors, your caterers, HVAC men and women, appraisers. We have doctors, lawyers, notaries. There's a lot of loan signing agents now that have come forth in the business when we do these closings. And all of those professions and many others are considered self-employed or 1099 wage earners. And the difference in a W-2 employee and a 1099 employee, shall I say independent contractor, is that the W-2 actually has calculations on it. There are deductions. It gets reported to the state and federal. That doesn't happen with 1099s. And unless you yourself are reporting things quarterly, you're going to have to do that at minimum once a year when it's time to file your taxes. And there's something that you should have paid. So if, just for example, if you made $100,000, you should be paying at least $10 to $15 or even $20,000 of that in federal, state, and maybe you have a 401k you want to push some money to. Maybe there are some savings, some IRAs. I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a licensed person to talk about that, but I just want to tell you those are other options. But those are things that you need to think of. And if you want to purchase a home, if you want to even think about the number of 59 and a half. That's the alleged retirement eligibility number for Social Security benefits. And it changes and depends on who you are, on what you will be able to do at 59 and a half. The Social Security Administration has a whole website. You can go on that website and look and see, what if you retired today? What if you became disabled today? What you would be entitled to receive from them monthly. However, if you haven't filed your taxes, you're going to see a huge, significant, low return monthly in the SSA. So meaning when you file your taxes, a lot of people do not realize that a portion of the money that you are reporting actually report to the Social Security Administration. And that is so important because that's what we're all looking to retire from if you don't have other resources like real estate investments, a 401k, a pension from an employer that you've been at prior to becoming an independent contractor. So if you are reducing the amount shown on your tax return, you are reducing the eligibility of monies that you can get in the future from Social Security Administration. So this is why we say to you, it is so important not to write off everything. And we've seen it. I know someone right now, he makes six figures. That's not what his tax return says. And I can tell you, I actually have a story. I know someone personally who their significant other passed away, unfortunately, to an illness. And they were in their 50s and they left behind 3 children. I know this, like I said, as a fact. This happened 4 or 5 years ago. The person, she actually works locally. And I went with her to the Social Security Administration because she needed assistance in order to have a conversation with them, didn't know what to ask, what to do. Well, because of how he filed, he was a local barber. He worked right on Front Street in the town that we represent a lot. Because of the way he filed, because of his diligence in filing his taxes, she's receiving enough income from him and the benefits alone to support her, the children, and purchase a home. And that is because of his intuity in doing his taxes. And I can tell you that there would be no way for that to be possible if he hadn't done what was right in filing every year, in paying his taxes, in making sure that his business was secure. Now, obviously, when he started doing that, he didn't know that he wouldn't be here in order to see that. That wasn't the goal of doing that. But that's one of the benefits that you have to consider, especially if you have children, as a self-employed independent contractor. Broker John?
Well, I think it's really important for you to reiterate the fact that, when you are filing your taxes, you are actually contributing to your Social Security benefit. down the line. And I don't think many business owners, many self-employed um, persons, contractors, or what have you, even know that when you file your taxes, you're not just, saying, all right, Uncle Sam, I made all this money, so here's your cut, and that's it. No, it actually goes into a pot for you to basically dip into once you retire from your craft. And I think the myth or notion is out there that, okay, if I'm an entrepreneur, if I'm self-employed, then I'm pretty much on my own. So I need to make as much money as I possibly can in this profession of mine and live off of whatever I can stash in the bank. Very, very, very important that when you file taxes, you are also eligible for Social Security benefits. I think that's one of the biggest myths that's out here in this world of entrepreneurship.
I only just found that out recently. I did not know that. The way I do my business and the way that I have is, I'm investing. A lot of my business, lends to investors. Obviously, I have buyers and sellers, but I did not know that until I spoke to a tax professional in maybe the past 3 or 4 years. So all this time, I'm just thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to have to keep a couple properties, when in fact, I've been contributing and did not know that. And I'll say this respectfully as a culture, for certain ethnicities, there is a disconnect and a lack of financial education. There is a lack of communication amongst us, even when we find out something that is, it's hard to swallow. That in this day and age, with the technology that we have before us, that we're not doing more, even to the degree of claiming your children. You can actually pay your child as an independent contractor. If you've got an LLC, you can pay your child to work for you. And that's also building them earlier than 18. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know about building children's credit before they turn 18. As young, some of the credit cards at 13. And without us and others willing and not afraid, because this is not a competition, we want everyone to win. And I'm hoping that these episodes that we're presenting to you will give you that push to give us the information that maybe you have that we didn't know, or share it with someone else. I'm okay with giving the information as long as you know that what I'm telling you, what Broker John is telling you, this is all factual. This isn't us, I heard. No, this is actual real time education that we've experienced, that we take. We actually do continuing education every year. So we're not just here, get licensed 1 year. We actually take courses so that we can better ourselves, so that we can be even better for you. And I would hope that you would understand that the goal in these episodes is truly to assist us. It's truly to fill the gap that exists between certain ethnicities and their home ownership attainment. It's actually not closing. And there's different ethnicities, it's going a different way. And I don't like to see that. And I know there are some banks out there, we're not going to get into that have been doing some redlining in the wrong direction, that have been doing some predatory lending. There's a lot of things going on. And I just want you to know that there are people that are out here, that's why we do this, that just want to see all of us win. Filing your taxes correctly. I'm not telling you if you made 150 to report 150. I'm telling you to report what's in your best interest in the event, not only for your Social Security benefits in the future, not only for your dependents, perhaps, but for the purpose of when you get ready to purchase a home, whether it be an investment or something for you to live in, your paperwork is intact. And we're not looking at, you made 150 and this says $70,000. Now, I'm not saying you can't purchase a home with $70,000. What I'm saying is the home that you want to purchase is not going to be attainable at $70,000. That's all I'm saying. So I just need you to do better, figure it out, and just think about it. There are definitely deductions that you can take reasonably, but just think about not just today. Think about long term is the goal that I need you to do. And, truth be told, you can amend your taxes. So we're having this conversation with you today, and maybe you filed your taxes last year and you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should have done something a little bit different. There's absolutely an amendment option. Just saying. Just think about it.
And Sam, let me just add a couple of things to that. Maybe some of you have not filed your taxes since COVID, right? And maybe some of you got wind that, well, the IRS kind of fell off a little bit, so they're not going to really come after me. Well, they're going to come after you now because, the government has a nice little allowance to hire all these agents to find folks like some of you out there. Hopefully no one out there is who I'm directing this to, but IRS is coming, right? They're coming to get their money. They're coming to recoup their money. But, at the end of the day, Sam mentioned bookkeeping, something you should be doing on a daily, weekly basis, right? Simplest way to bookkeep. Brown envelope. See this big brown envelope? You take all your receipts, you drop them in this brown envelope, right? All your receipts, you put them in this big brown envelope. And then when it comes to tax time, here's a tip. Find an accountant or find a CPA or find a financial planner that will take the time to go through this. And of course, they're not going to do it for free. They're professional. And with that professionalism comes tips, tricks, guidance, advice, deductions that you're eligible for that you're not going to necessarily find in TurboTax, that you're not necessarily going to find at, let's say, H&R Block, because they are swamped with hundreds, if not thousands of people rushing their door, around this time of the year, unless you pay for the extra services. And if you're going to pay for the extra services, you might as well get your own CPA, your own accountant who's going to be with you 12 months out the year versus the 2.5 months that a lot of these places are readily available to address your needs. Just saying.
I'm just going to add to that because you reminded me of something. As Broker John said, the IRS has hired a lot of people. And so have the feds.
Ouch.
And some of you, maybe me, maybe you out there in TV land, might have received some of those EIDL and PPP loans with those fake LLCs. Please don't think that they're not coming. There are people, and I know you've seen it in the news. You saw some of the blogs, some of the people who millions, they claim that trucking companies payroll was $1 million a month. They went out and bought roses and watches and different things, and now they sitting behind bars. All I'm saying is some of the loans were definitely legit. Some people actually needed them to continue to pay their workers and so forth and so on. All I'm saying is don't think they forgot. Those SBA loans, PPP, EIDL, I'm not sure what other ones were out there. Some people, again, legitimate businesses, legitimate paperwork, LLCs in existence prior to the date that they said. But I'm not going to go into that. I just want you all to know that you need to be a little bit more careful. Going forward, just know that, as Broker John said, the IRS has hired people. There are business opportunities for others to get some of that money back. And it's not going to be pretty or friendly. So you might want to just tighten yourself up, get some things in order, and be prepared. in case you get a little knock on the door or email, don't ignore them, is all I'm saying. They got time and they got money. Some of the money that you got, they got too. So all I'm saying is just govern yourselves accordingly.
And we're not here to scare anybody. We just want everyone to do things the right way. And if you haven't had the opportunity to realign your strategy as it fits into the government's way of doing their job, now is the time for you to do it. Hiring a CPA, doing the appropriate bookkeeping you need to do, reaching out to the professionals to help you realign yourself. Because at the end of the day, there are programs out there for everyone. And I know a lot of times you hear from realtors, first time home buyer program here, first time home buyer program here and there, da 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 da. You have to make this, and you need a W-2 for the. There are plenty of programs for investors, plenty of programs for the self-employed, plenty of programs for you. However, Broker Sam and or I cannot help you get into those programs if your paperwork isn't straight and filed appropriately.
That's it. Be an adult. File your stuff correctly. Make an example.
Be an adult.
Be an adult. Yep. Because as kids, you know what? As kids, we didn't have these issues. We wanted to be an adult, and now that we're here, we want to go back. So
that's a fact.
Okay. So yeah, be an adult. You want to play in the big, and I'm going to say big boy and girl pond. Okay. You know, hustlers, as he said, self-employed, gig workers, as we were named during the unemployment phase of COVID-20, gig work. Who came up with that? Gig workers. It's okay though, because unemployment was available for the first time ever. Thank you so much. So I'm just saying, get your stuff in order. That's all we're ever saying to you, whether it's related to taxes, credit, whatever it is. Just get your stuff. Do what's best. We've all got a friend that's too smart for their own good. And I'm just saying to you that sometimes certain ethnicities as well get made an example of, and in a higher proportionate rate than others. That's just the facts. So if we can say to you to tighten up your stuff, if you need someone year round, like he said, an accountant, a CPA, and there are certain accountants and CPAs who are specializing in certain fields. They may have police and fire, or they may have like real estate or estate planning. There are certain accountants, ask around, ask your friends, who do you use? Have you used them for a while? Get referrals. And I'm going to leave you with this last piece, and I'm gonna let Broker John do his part. GoFundMe is not life insurance. Okay. You have insurance for your phone. You pay insurance on your cell phone, your iPhone, your Samsung. I'm an iPhone person, but I'm just saying you pay insurance on those things. You pay insurance on cars, boats, whatever. Why not pay $20 or $30 for life insurance? GoFundMe is not life insurance. That's it.
Say GoFundMe. I'll put it to you this way. I'll give you another example. We have no problem paying Verizon, Comcast, whoever you have as your provider, provide that internet and all those channels that you really only watch 7 or 8 of them, but you got 300 or 400 of them. We make sure that bill is paid every single month. You can set aside a couple of dollars to keep a CPA on deck, keep an accountant on deck, or even for a per diem. Check in with your accountant or your CPA every quarter. Say, hey, I got some receipts. Can you put them with my file? As part of the bookkeeping task, okay, that you are going to now commit yourself to going forward, because you want all your paperwork to be straight, or maybe you have ambitions or high hopes to maybe move your home-based business into a brick and mortar, or your home-based business, or your business in general is creating a lifestyle for you that now you think, you know what? maybe I want to start investing like I'm hearing broker Sam refer to or broker John refer. I want to start investing. I want to buy a multifamily property, or you know what? I want a single family home now. I've been renting, I've been hustling. I want my own home now. So do it right. GoFundMe is not insurance. That's classic. That's classic.
We're gonna end on that. That's it.
We're gonna end right there, but I'm glad we're back. I'm sure you guys are glad we're back because we came with the heat today because we missed you. We love you. We care for you. And a lot has transpired and will continue to transpire. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John Johnson, Johnson Signature Group, Exit Platinum Realty. And once again, this is
Broker, real estate, extraordinaire entrepreneur, here to assist, Sam Sakitha Cooper. You can call me Sam. Give us a call. We're here to help. We're here to assist. And we take great pleasure in doing these episodes to give you the information that you didn't even know you needed.
Sam, how do they reach you?
You can call me at area code 908-616-5016. Text is fine. Call me. Leave a message. My voicemail is available for you, and I'm here most days after 9 a.m.
Same here, guys. 908-338-0639. Until next time, stay tuned. Enjoy the rest of your week.